Hi everyone. In this video I was going to talk about a recent exploit and bloodshards in general for Diablo 3. Specifically in Season 3 a new exploit has been found. That's pretty much butt raping anybody who's not using it because it's really broken, overpowered. So basically what happens is the bloodshard goblin can now spawn, outside of rifts. And what happened was, if you find one of these bloodshard golems outside of a rift, and then you have someone open a high level greater rift, the multiplier from the greater rift is applied to the goblin for the people who are inside the greater rift. So for example, you have like one guy find the goblin, and then you know the other three people go inside the greater rift, for example, like greater rift 42 or whatever. I think that's where it caps out. And then that one guy kills the goblin, and then the three people in the greater rift get the multiplier. And what ends up happening is that bloodshard goblin just dropped 3 to 4,000 something shards for those three people. Just the one guy gets screwed over, but I mean, that's pretty. It's pretty broken. And so, I've talked about it a little bit before. I think bloodshards in general are just way too powerful. I mean, you can deck out a character just from bloodshards. You don't have to play the character at all. It's just farm bloodshards on another character, say a crusader or whatever. You can just completely deck out a barbarian just from the bloodshards. So, I mean, there are people exploiting this right now. It's so hard. It's like on Reddit and forums and blah blah whatever. Pretty much anywhere you look. And there are people who have 500,000 bloodshards farmed in Season 3 using this exploit. And, where is it? For example, even in Season 2, and, I played it through its entirety, got a bunch of hours in there. And I only had 400,000 bloodshards in all of Season 2, and, I played like 8 hours a day. 400,000 bloodshards, and there are people, what is it, 6 days into Season 3 now? People already 500,000 bloodshards. It's just like, that's actually retarded. And considering the fact that, how strong bloodshards really are. For example, on my barbarian here, like, this guy half of his gear off from Season 2, I mean, I'd probably say like 70% of his gear was gambled from bloodshards. Like, it's actually ridiculous how strong they are, minus like, my furnace and like some others, one or two other pieces or something like that. Majority of my gear was from bloodshards. And I don't think these people should be banned. I think it's ridiculous that this bug even exists. But it's pretty bad. I mean, first off, there's the problem that bloodshards, in my opinion, are way too strong, and then to top it off, there's an exploit to where you can, get 3-4,000 if you have a bunch of people working together to farm these for you. Where am I at? Let's see, like at 100,000 or something for Season 3. 100,000, a little over 100,000 for Season 3, and there are people 500k. It's like, there's no way to compete with that, from a Bloodshard loot, perspective, whatever. It's just ridiculous how much, I could farm this, absolutely, but it's, it takes away a lot of the fun from the game, I don't want to just sit there and have all really nice ancient head-to-toe loot and then just farm Paragon levels for 4 months. Like, I'd rather play Minesweeper at that point. Like, it's not the most enjoyable thing to do, just, not even care about loot anymore. It's a lot of the fun in the game, and that brings up another point. It's like, because you can get everything from bloodshards in the game, minus like a Hellfire amulet, it really takes away a lot of the character progression and like the loot lust and the drops and all that kind of stuff. I just think they need to change the dynamics of where you can get, really top tier stuff from. I'm not saying that bloodshards and gambling should be, you know, completely taken out of the equation, but it would be nice if you actually had to play your characters and kill monsters, Rift Guardians, whatever, and have the gear actually drop. You know, say some ancient pieces or something like that can be gambled. Some, I don't know, something just, or just change some of the dynamics. A furnace straight up can't be gambled. Sona Jordans can't be gambled from bloodshards. That would kill a lot of the, you know, I only play this or that character. I only play my support monk and just stack them with EXP gear, and I gamble all the gear I need on my demon hunter with those bloodshards that I farm on this support monk. And people do that, and they never touch their demon hunter, for example, until the very end of the season, because they can get everything from bloodshards. And a demon hunter, for example, you really can't afford to wear EXP gear in greater rifts. Greater rift EXP farming. So they just, if they really want to min-max pretty hard, and it's a huge difference how much EXP you're getting when you do that. They just play a support monk or something. They still get the dex drops, but they're still using all those blood shards trying to gamble, whatever. But some people just, I don't know, it's the amount of blood shards people are farming is just, that's all you need to get ancient in every slot, just from the blood shard exploit. It's 6 days in, like I said, people probably head to toe in ancients who have been using this. There's one guy in the EU who has 500,000. It's like retarded. There are probably other people out there too. And I don't think that people should be banned, like I said. It's just the problems are within the structure of the game more than anything else. Blood shards are way too strong. They can literally carry you to top tier gear, minus a Hellfire amulet. That's the only thing, that's the only thing you actually have to get out there and farm, other than upgrading gems. Upgrading gems, farming EXP yourself, and then crafting Hellfire amulet. After that, everything else can be solved through blood shards. And I think there needs to be more things in the game that you actually have to do yourself, like the Hellfire amulet, or like upgrading gems yourself. I mean, last season we had the big Sever exploit or whatever, to where people could craft higher level gems and do trials super easy because how strong Sever was with exploding palm. And I don't know. It's just it's a pretty shitty situation. I actually, the end of season one, when I took a break from the game for like 3 months near the end of season one, like in October, November, something like that, and I kind of quit playing. I didn't even touch the game for like 3 months. Came back in season two, and I just remember one of the big things why I quit is because, one, the way you play the game to look the best or whatever, top of the leaderboards, it's always like exploits and really shitty ways of playing the game, like power conduit pylons and pylon manipulation, all that stuff. And it's a really stupid way to play the game, but to look the best, you have to do those things. And some people take it to the most extreme level. They'll do this bloodshard farming exploit until it either gets fixed or, I doubt they'll get banned, but something happens. And I'd really like to see Diablo go in a direction to where it makes sense within the rules of the game, to progress on these leaderboards. And I think if Blizzard would have a bit of a perspective in that direction, their game would probably be, a lot healthier. Nobody's surprised that these people, who are top on the leaderboards are using these exploits again and again every season, always coming out on top. There's not even an incentive for the top person, rank 1 people. And there's no punishment for using exploits or, these shitty ways to play the game. And it makes me consider, playing other games, because I do like to play serious, not the most, like, try hard possible, but I do like to take the game a little more serious than, a lot of people, and put in a lot of effort and see those results. But they do kind of get shit on time and time again within this game through, whether it be botting or exploiting, gear swapping on greater risk for the boss, little things like that. But back to the Bloodshard thing, I think the biggest thing would be that Bloodshards are too powerful, and that either they need to be toned down, or more things in the game cannot be acquired through Bloodshards. Like I said, I don't care about these people getting banned or anything. I don't think they deserve that. I mean, it's whatever. But in the future, probably definitely take it more serious. You know, your game would be a lot healthier if you really showed, you put a little bit of fear in people who exploit and use these mechanics. Because there's never never any punishment or anything that happens to these people. I mean, you're almost encouraged. You're like, you know, from my perspective, I don't care enough to do it, but it's like if I was really tryharding, I would actually be stupid not to take advantage of something like this because Blizzard basically encourages it because there's no punishment. You get a humongous advantage by exploiting right now. That's about all I got, I think, for this one. Uh, might have ran it in circles a little bit, but that's alright. So, yep. I will see you guys on stream. We're on here again at some point. So, thanks for watching, and goodbye.